Angry Duck Graphics has the biggest, baddest merch shop around. Check it out at shopangryduck.com and buy a Remedy shirt while you are there. The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is the largest of 3 sanctioned national pulling associations with 16 classes and more than 350 competing vehicles streamed on outlawpulling.tv.
Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting in Rock Valley, Iowa gives their customers the most competitive edge possible. Be supreme. Buy Extreme.
The official fan app for truck and tractor pulling. Sign up, pick winners, win cash. It's that easy. Fullpull.us.
GMS Manufacturing and Machine. Helping you build a superior foundation with top quality parts and service. Give Brent a call today.
Coal Train Energy is American-made energy and Midwest based in Syracuse, Missouri. Free shipping is available at coaltrainenergy.com. Check out their new flavors online.
Heavy diesel rebuilds and machine work is High Plains Performance's specialty. Their team of qualified and experienced professionals are at the top of their industry. Contact Doug for a quote today.
The world's #1 racing and performance marketplace. Cars, parts, antiques, trailers, and so much more. RacingJunk.com.
Conventional combine concaves cause damage to small grains and contribute to significant crop loss over time. Luckily, Bauer Built Concaves has perfected the design for John Deere and Case IH equipment. Call them today.
Contact Corsa today and ask about their pullers packages that give you all the information you need to know about your engine.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere out of O'Keefe, Iowa coming up. We got one right behind us.
Hello, friends. Hello, Kenzie. Hello, Mike.
What's
Hello,
up?
All of our friends out in truck and tractor pulling land. Exciting Let's Grow pulling for you tonight. Riley Anderson is going to be joining us pretty soon. He had a meeting out at the fairgrounds, but he's bringing, it's called the Hub City Dirt Drags, Mike. And it's like do you imagine UCC, the Ultimate Call Out Challenge? It's kind of I don't want to say a minor one of that, but that's a bigger event. But he does dyno drags and dirt drags, and he's also going to have a diesel truck pull as well out here at our fairgrounds at Richland Center. So we're quite excited about that. October 11th and 12th. October 11th is his diesel truck pull. We'll talk about that a little bit with him. And then on the 12th is going to be his the dirt drags and the UCC. I think it's 30 grand. It's something crazy now to win that thing. So, and then also we're going to talk to Wesley Foster, Woodbury, Tennessee. The Woodbury FFA alumni poll is going to be coming up this Saturday. Now, it got canceled because of a hurricane 3 weeks ago, and the Hurricane Helene or something like that's heading its way into the Gulf of Mexico, I think Thursday or Friday. But Wesley said he feels good about everything. So let us know where you're watching from tonight. I do want to give a shout out to RJ Simon putting on the big Simon Says $50,000 to win. Kenzie and Mike talked about it last week. Last Monday, I was on my way down to Litchfield, Kentucky for a couple of days to work with Chase and Full Pull. And so the Pro Stock class is full. The 4.1s are full, but he still needs entries from the 2-wheelers, the 4-wheelers, and the mini rod pullers. It's a $2,500 buy-in, and then it's 50 grand to win. There's qualification Thursday night and Friday night, and then the finals will be Saturday night. So if anybody has any questions on that, they just need to get a hold of RJ and check it out. But it's pretty excited about that. Kenzie, what do we got popping up for comments right now so far?
Yeah, Jason, and one thing that I didn't explain as well as I could have last week, $50,000, that is to the winner. That is not $50,000 overall pot or $50,000 per class. Like, because we spoke later on throughout the week, second place is getting, I mean, it pays all the way down to, I think, 12th place or something like that. And it is significant payouts top to bottom. I mean, it's not like, if you finish third, fourth, fifth in this thing, you're still looking at potentially one of the biggest paychecks that you as a puller will have received to this date, more than likely. So
yeah, I talked to RJ briefly on the phone this afternoon, and he just wanted me to get the message out there that he needs signups for minis, 2-wheelers, and 4-wheelers. And if you have any questions, give him a call. There's a lot of people, oh, this and this and that. You know how once something's positive in the pulling world, everybody starts poking a bunch of holes in it. Call RJ Simon. If there's one thing that RJ Simon is not, he's not a liar. He's probably the most honest and truthful man I've ever. He may not like what he's going to say to you, but he is part of it. So I had a weekend off. I got home from Kentucky on Friday, had a realtor event down in Prairie du Chien with some of my agents, and I went to Oshkosh this weekend and played golf with my son and his son and both my boys up there and my wife. And Oshkosh has a lot of roundabouts, and I'm not used to a lot of roundabouts. And I was in the wrong lane of the roundabout, and somebody honked at me. It was like on a Sunday afternoon, like after the Packers played, and I'm like, what is like? I wasn't anywhere close to hitting this person. Like I was in the turn lane, I went straight out of it, or I was in the straight and I should have been in the turn. But like I wish when people would honk. I think like God should just stop both of your cars and you have to get out and you have to fight.
I like that. I'm a big fan.
I don't care. I don't care if it's some 6'7" dude that could just thump me in the ground like a post hole, or for some 89-year-old lady. I just think God should like stop your cars, and then you should just have to get out and just put your dukes up. All right, here's a poll question: do you honk at people on the road? Like,
yes.
Do you get road rage? Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you get road rage, Mike?
I'm a communicator. I'm a passive aggressive honker. But interestingly enough, you cannot like that's part of the pre-trip inspection on a school bus. You have to make sure that your horn honks. So that way, I guess if you're good and pissed off at the person in front of you when you're hauling the kids, you can let them know about it. But horns, they're a good way to let people know, better out than in. Talk about your feelings. Use the horn to talk.
And shout out to our Bowling Green advocate. He wore the Remedy shirt to Cedar Point, the amusement park out there in Ohio. And he said a lot of people asked, so I just want to know, did you tell him to go to shopangryduck.com and click under the Beer Money Pulling? Actually, guys, seriously, we've added some leggings to our store. We got some new shirts that say cool shit ain't cheap and cheap shit ain't cool. You can get that in a hoodie, get that in a t-shirt. That's kind of our saying around here because it's true, because it's very, very true.
That's tractor pulling in a nutshell. And the minute you think you've got the biggest, baddest, neatest, most completest thing, next year someone's going to have something better, and it's back to the pocketbook to get that cool shit one more time around.
So it's all good. It's all good. But again, tonight, Riley Anderson will be here in a few minutes. We're going to talk about Hub City. It's actually going to be at the Richland County Fairgrounds. We're going to talk about the pull. But for you 3.6 pullers, $3,000, and for the payout, super stock gas drives, $1,500, work stock $1,000, 2.6 $1,500, street diesels $500, and hot street $8,500 $1,000. All trucks only, all diesel trucks. So we got our first spammer of the night.
Aries Isabella. They've got some lovely names these days.
Mm-hmm. So, Derek wanted us to mention something tonight. Derek's got something coming up. He sent it to me in Messenger. I was gonna give it a shout out tonight. We're gonna be in Woodbury, Tennessee, Kenzie and I, this Saturday for the Woodbury FFA alumni poll. Mid-South, they're gonna start out with the 12.5 farm stock class, and it will be live streamed on fullpull.live, everybody. And this is the last week of their promotion of that $19.99. So you can get it for your first month for $19.99, and then you'll be locked in for. We have 3 we're doing in October, right? Sevierville, Tennessee. We're doing TNT Motorsports, kind of their finale. We're doing Lufkin, Texas. And then if you have an Outlaw subscription, you can watch on Outlaw Pulling TV. If you have a Full Pull Live subscription, you can watch Lufkin. We're not splitting it up, Mike. So make sure people know that. If you see us talking about Full Pull Live, we're not splitting it up. It's going to be on both of those. And we're also going to do, what else? Oh, the Raleigh State Fair. North Carolina State Fair, Raleigh, North Carolina.
I love the fall schedule that Full Pull has released, because what an awesome time to look at some of these late in the year destination type pulls, but what also an awesome experience to take a look at maybe something that we don't get to see every single day. They covered NTPA Grand National exclusively this year, which why wouldn't you? And now you're going to get to look at, hey, here's what Outlaw is going to be up to. Here's what Mid-South. That Mid-South is a fun organization, so that's going to be a great poll for people to take a look at. TNT does great work. The fall schedule is really a neat package that people can, $19.99 now, and then you're going to be pulling for another month or two before your year's done.
Yeah. Oh, at least. Dave Vandenberg says, are they doing the Summer Nationals in Shipshewana, Indiana, June on the same weekend as the Farley? I don't know. Like, Farley was like the first one to say we're doing this, and now like there's a lot of dates conflicting, and I think they got to sort through a lot of stuff yet on that. But like I talked to RJ today, and like his wedding hall is full every other weekend, and he's always used to keeping that date, and it's on top of Hutchinson, and there's just a lot of stuff that has to get sorted out yet. And I know RJ and Ricky will get on the phone and sort it all out the best they can. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that all shake down. But it's hard putting schedules together, guys, because you got basically 12 weekends.
Yeah,
That's why we at the Outlaws we're jamming on Wednesdays and Thursdays and not always loving life.
Yeah, when you get July, like it's a weird feeling. Like you feel like you've had the weekend off if you went to a pull that weekend or 2 pulls. But yeah, we run those Wednesday through Saturday, sometimes Sunday sweeps. But that's what you got to do. It makes it fun.
Yeah, but it was a busy summer. I know Allegan, Michigan was this past weekend, and we promoted that event. There's a lot of other different ones. Oh, I know something I wanted to do really quick. Riley just texted me, said it'll be here in about 3 minutes. Where did I put that? Download, Kenzie, all files. I wanted to do this for Derek. He hit me up on this. So I'll just do a quick shout out for this event here. Mike, can you read that better than me? Appalachian Outlaws.
Once I make it big on my screen.
Yeah.
September 28th pull. This is a group of lady riders that present the American flag and colors during the singing of the national anthem. Additionally, the main event sponsor, AR Roofing, will have a vehicle with a flag on it displayed on the truck. This will be something worth seeing. Appalachian Outlaws Extravaganza, presented by AR Roofing, September 28th, 2024, 6 o'clock start time, 2 tracks, 2 sleds, 30 classes of pulling action. And then after that, we're back to the eye doctor, or we're zooming in because things get too small for my eyes.
Yeah, Derek sent me that on a screenshot there, so it's all good.
At the Wesley Fairgrounds.
So we have a new partner that we're working with, and we're working with on the Outlaws too, but Liquid Tube. Any truck drivers out there use Liquid Tube, let me know, because we need to get some testimonials to start helping them with their Facebook. But Liquid Tube, they've sponsored a lot of pulling this year, a lot of interstate, and I've seen them sponsor a ton of associations. So we're working with them now. We're going to help them with their social media. I got a Liquid Tube sticker on the Remedy, but I want to know. So it's basically the tire. It's like a flat tire. You put it in there before you actually have a flat tire, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do get a hole, it rushes to that hole and it seals it up. But it's for farm tractors, it's for truck drivers, and it's for like UTVs and stuff like that. So it's for a bigger tire is what I understand. I don't know a ton about it yet. I got a lot to learn, but I do. If anybody uses Liquid Tube in the comments, let us know. And let us know where you buy it at. Let us know what your thoughts are on it. Because
it's like the liquid. The script is right on the tip of my tongue from reading it many times this summer. But it's like the official inner tube liquid sealer or something like that of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. But yeah, it coats and seals. I think especially tires that have inner tubes in them, or it takes the place or works the way that an inner tube would. Yeah, hole goes in, gunk fills the hole. You're keeping on driving. No flats.
So it's good stuff there. So again, yeah. So Riley will be here any minute. We're gonna talk about Hub City, and then around 8:30 or so, maybe 8:40, we'll push Wesley out a little bit. We're gonna talk about Woodbury FFA. So it's all good in the hood. We're excited. I'm excited to go to Woodbury, Tennessee. I have not seen a Mid-South pull this summer because I was so busy with Full Pull and Outlaw TV. It'll be good to go down there. Kenzie and I are gonna cruise down Friday morning, and I'm running Starline camera. Kenzie's running Finish Line camera. So it's going to be amazing. That's all I can say. So with your monthly subscription, you're going to get Woodbury, Tennessee this Saturday night. Again, Wesley Foster. A lot of big names come out of Mid-South too, Mike. Light Supers, two-wheel drives. I mean, you don't realize it until you actually kind of see some of the names on that. So,
yeah, I was looking at their poster and just even looking at the promotional poster, you see some vehicles that, you should recognize, like the notorious two-wheel drive truck. And then, of course, you hung out with the Phillipses this past week, and I'm assuming that maybe they'll make an appearance with that being.
Yeah, Brandon's bringing the John Deere over there, and then Larry's going somewhere else with the red one. I think is what he told me. Because the best thing you've said is like when school starts, pulling doesn't stop. So that's pretty cool. And then before we get Riley on, Mike, let's bring Mike's blog up. Mike, you wrote an amazing blog about Bill Leishner.
This was a fun one. It's good to get back in the swing of things with writing. I had to take the last month and teach all my students how to write. But now that they've figured it out, I can get back to doing it myself. But it's crazy to think Bill Leishner, and I want to say he's been invited to Freedom Hall. He's pulled at Louisville as much as anybody, if not more. But to think that this was his first ever NTPA Grand National Points Championship. That's crazy because you would just assume, oh, that guy's got 4 or 5 of them just stacked in the dust. I'm sure he has several, and he does have points championships with other associations. But to kind of legitify his legacy, by winning points this year, fun season for him. Tough battle, as he went back and forth with the Simon Says mod this year too.
So head over to beermoneypullingteam.com, click on the blog. Mike, did you put this up on pulloff.com yet?
No, I don't. I have not put anything on pull off.
I need to do that then. But here's a great article: Legendary Leichner locks in legacy. So continue reading, and there's a really awesome article here from Mike. So this week in pulling, Legendary Leichner locks in legacy. Early in the preseason, I presented pulling enthusiasts with my bold picks and predictions. Among those, I declared 2024 to be the year that'd be the Simon Says modified. Fresh off back-to-back wins in Louisville, Kentucky, one each at the Farm Show and the Mid-America Truck Show, the Black 4-engine mod seemed poised to go on a tear where it surely, firmly put all competitors in its backup camera for the season. So, I mean, Mike, you're so good at writing. I love you, bro. You make good stuff. But
they don't have rear view mirrors, so you can't put your competition in your rear view mirror. But I think most of them have backup cameras, so they can put them back there for the year.
Yes, we're excited for the North Carolina State Fair. Matt Carter, of course we are. Matt Carter's chiming in. We're going to be in Raleigh that week. There we go. Yeah, thank you. There was a nice article, Mikey.
Shout out to Chandler too. When you get on our group chat and you ask for something, like our team is so good at everyone has their jive and their jam. So I was on there and I was like, hey, does anybody have a picture of Dirt Slinger or Bill Leichner? And I bet it was all of 90 seconds before we've got this just beautiful, you could put it on a poster version of Dirt Slinger going down at Toma. So Chandler, you're the man, dude.
So if you guys go into the comments, you can get a click on that article, or just go to beermoneypullingteam.com, click on the blog, and there's a link to Bill Leichner's articles and all the great articles that Mike's written over the last year. Like I say, he's getting back into the swing of things after summer. Summer is crazy, Mike.
Well, summer was, but then it was when summer and school hit, and it was like, oh, I have to go do a career job again. But now that they've got that figured out, I think that we can get rocking and rolling once more.
All right. So Riley Anderson's here from the Hub City Drags, aka they're going to be in Richland Center, Wisconsin at the Fairgrounds, which I deeply, deeply adore. The Richland County Fairgrounds. The Knights of Columbus put a bunch of money and time into those events over the years. I'm glad that Riley's getting going. You're Mike. This is Riley Anderson from Hub City. Glad that him and his team are putting some action back into the fairgrounds. We have a nice fairgrounds. It's going to be good to get that going again here. Kenzie, can you put up a couple of videos from Hub? Do you have those in your thing there?
I do. If I found them out.
I found Jason now.
You want me to do it, Kenzie?
I got it.
Sure. I mean, you are my assistant, so
I got
it.
Co-pilot.
Oh, no.
So who was that?
So that was TJ Fry. He's been coming to our events the last 2 years, but he's a
Mike, can you hear Riley well? Is he talking loud enough?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure. We have a fancy mic. See that?
Yeah, I see that.
This is way better than my house.
It is fancy. That's why I like it.
But there's cords everywhere, Mike. I'm glad the camera's up here because it's like a landmine in here.
It's fire.
I mean, it's all right. You guys got it. But yeah, no, that was a friend of mine, TJ Fry. He runs with the ODSS series.
Okay.
Outlaw Diesel Super Series, it's called. He's a pretty heavy contender in the racing series, and that truck normally never sees dirt. But he came to our event 2 years ago, and ever since then, he makes a special appearance each year with cup augers on it.
So all you UCC fans, the Ultimate Call Out Challenge, it's an Indy every year. Is it in June?
First week of June. Yep.
So they dyno, they drag race, and then they pull. Okay, so Riley, the same truck, but they drag race on asphalt. Okay, Mike, they drag race on asphalt. That's where the U.S. Nationals are in Indy. And the dyno set up right over there. And this is some pictures from Hub City from last year. Then they dyno right in front of the big grandstands, Mike, at the U.S. Nationals. And they have a pull track they pull on Sunday. I call it like the Olympics of diesel truck pulling.
And so if you enter if you enter your truck, it has to compete in all three. This isn't only the pull. So it's not like, Jason Wayman's going to go out there and only pull his truck. If you were to do this, you're pulling, you're racing, you're dynoing with
Yeah,
one
so
vehicle.
if you're in the challenge now at the facility while the challenge drivers are doing one of the 3 events, they also have like we'll say on Saturday night, it's not the challenge trucks polling. They actually bring in a polling series. I don't know exactly what one it's called. I know it's an Eastern
They don't.
series.
Oh, they don't pull anymore in the challenge.
No, they do. They do.
Oh, they do.
But
Okay.
for a show on Saturday, while the challenge trucks have the drag race.
Oh yeah, they brought in PPL.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, Mike, they had PPL at UCC.
That rings a bell. I think we
Wesley,
talked about that.
Wesley Foster from Woodbury, Tennessee is in the background. Wesley, can you hear me? Shake your head. Yeah, you can. All right. Which association did they have at UCC pulling trucks? Was that Mid-South or was that PPL? He doesn't know. Okay. He wasn't Mid-South.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's a great show. But so basically what my event, it's very similar, but these trucks that race on pavement that you see, I was actually just in Pennsylvania. I just got home from Pennsylvania this weekend campaigning my event, but you'll see pro street trucks that are anywhere from 1,500 to 2,700 horsepower. They run 8th mile times of like 4.8 seconds to the 590s. Most of these trucks have never seen dirt, nor do they see dirt, but they come and compete in our event. And we actually have quite a bit of the big ODSS trucks signed up this year. So it'll be quite interesting seeing these guys putting the cut boggers on them, putting 2,000 horsepower down.
When they race on concrete or asphalt, cement, whatever the surface is, typically.
Did you say cement?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Because that's some Beverly Hillbilly shit there, Michael. The cement.
No. This is another one. Like we put hard E's on everything. Like we've never been to Detroit. It's Detroit. Like it's 0. Like you get 0. Like everything. It's just it's whatever.
It's kind of like
we kind of pick on
well,
each
it's
other
kind of
a
like
lot.
when you hear people say Wisconsin instead of Wisconsin.
You wait till we get Foster on here with old Tennessee.
Cheese curds are gross, guys. Cheese curds are gross.
Cheese curds are amazing.
I went to
Cheese
North
curds are
Carolina
terrible.
and I announced a couple weekends ago, and I said, I'm going to talk slower now because I am in the South. And because John Strickland's a good friend of mine, big puller. He's like, Jason, you can't talk as fast down south because they're not going to understand you.
So when they're racing, typically, are they in 2-wheel drive or do they lock it into 4? And then they have to make, so they're 4-wheel drive on both surfaces then. So they're not making a major adjustment when they go to the dirt. And when you build your dirt surface, is it going to be like a pulling track where you're building something pretty tacky and firm? Or are you going to leave it a little loose and make some driver skill come into play there?
So I definitely leave it a little loose because a lot of these guys make so much power, they just smoke the tires on a hard pack track. So what I do is I use like a collar packer on the track. So I'll till it up and the collar packer will help with it'll give it like a 50% compaction. So it's like smooth enough that it's not bumpy for them going down. But if you have an aggressive tire, it definitely, they dig. I'm usually the guy standing in the middle of the track running the lights. And trust me when I say they throw like football-sized clumps of clay at times.
Oh, yeah.
It's legit.
It hurts too.
It hurts too, yeah.
But yeah, so we have some of the biggest names in the diesel drag racing industry, that'll be attending this. Austin Denny from Warren Diesel. He runs a pro street truck. I actually just got done spending the weekend with him out at Keystone Raceway.
Is that where
that
truck blew up?
Nope, that was Randy Ray's from Industrial, or I don't know if he works with Industrial Injection. I know they do a lot of his work. I would love to see that truck entered in the Hub City.
Did you see that, Mike? That truck that blew up on the
I saw a little bit of it.
So that's his second one he did at UCC earlier with his older truck or his second gen Dodge, if I remember correctly. He, kind of pushed the limits to that block as well, and that one separated. So these guys are definitely pushing the limits when it comes to the racing side of it and the horsepower side and the diesel trucks. It's pretty amazing how far they've come in the last few years. And to me, this diesel drag racing, it falls very similar to the Poland side of it. Most of the guys are running very similar components. You just might have a little different chassis setup.
Yeah.
Well, when you were talking horsepower, and you could even kind of just look at that truck building the boost that we saw right there. I mean, that, I can imagine internally they're going to set them up very similarly. Now, your gearing is probably going to be drastically different. I imagine these guys are going to be running a much higher gear setup. But I'm sure if you looked under the hood, what size turbos are they running? Are they running 3-inch turbos or are they running big?
Mike, there's no rules.
Yeah, there's no rules. So you'll see 1 up to 3 and lots of nitrous on some of them, and that's That's the cool part about it, and you might see a different setup for
Get more videos to put up, kids.
So I don't have check out city page for some of the posts maybe that I
so no rules, like no weight limit, no just in the
drag race
sprung and
so Mike's an announcer, so he's a teacher. So
okay.
he obeys all the rules. Like if he beats him at 55, he goes 56.
So it's not best cheaters win.
It's not best cheaters.
No sports individual has ever cheated before, right?
Oh yeah. So now, yes, so if you look up ODSS, it's the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. They're an organization. It's kind of like the NHRA for gas drag racing, but this is their diesel side of it. ODSS. That's who I follow. That's who basically all these guys compete in a point series. So they have different ETs. They call it like your time that you run down the track.
Sure.
So there's different classes for that, and they definitely have a lot of rules. Just like you pulling guys, I'm finding out running this pool, you guys got a lot of rules with some of this stuff.
Everybody's a cheater.
So at my events, for my Hub City Dirt Drag Challenge, this is one thing the guys get a lot of kicks out of is I tend to steer away from a lot of the rules. I mean, the safety side of it, we make sure that that's all there. Like cages and harnesses and fire suits and you name it. The safety side of it's huge, but when it comes to what you're doing to the motor, if you're in the challenge class, there's zero limitations on the motor, zero limitations on what you want to do. So you can run, say most of the guys will run 2 to 3 chargers with a lot of nitrous on the dyno, and then they'll change due to a 2-day event. That night, they're out there changing. They might put like a super single on there or maybe a small compound setup. Now I know that truck in this video. I don't know if they can see it.
I'm just gonna play. Well, I'm just showing pictures right now.
Okay, so that truck in the video on the left that shows that massive intercooler setup. That was a triple turbocharged. I think he made like around 2,600 horse. Not at my event that day. He had hurt the torque converter and tried competing. And ended up taking out the trans. But those trucks are absolutely insane to watch go down the dirt. And the videos do not do the justice of the speed. These guys are 115 to 120 miles an hour in 3 seconds in a full size truck, but this is on dirt, mind you. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so much.
Riley Anderson joining us, Hub City Dirt Drags. So we're gonna do kind of a diesel truck pull on Friday night, right? Kenzie's got some cool videos going behind us. Give me 1 second here. Yep. Kenzie, you want to play that again?
It's moving.
I'll make this big.
So that's a Jeff Cruz. You can see his truck spooling. That is a purpose-built dirt drag truck, and that's got a Duramax motor. That particular pass, I'll never forget it because I ended up with a lot of bruises. His transfer case broke, so it went from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive. You can see me standing behind them lights there, and I turned my back, and I got hit with a lot of debris.
Mike, it's like running the starting line camera.
I was just gonna say it's like starting line camera, modified.
We're down there at the starting line camera. All the dirt comes back, and I've got really close to Cha-Cha's a couple of times.
Yeah, no, when they're going, but yeah, that truck will be at this event, and there's actually a couple of other really big names. If you go on my Facebook, the Hub City Dirt Drags Facebook page, you can actually see some of the drivers. We've been kind of premiering some of the big names that are coming. We've been sharing about basically who they are, what the truck looks like, and their sponsorship with that. So it's a pretty neat event. Now the trucks that are racing behind me, those were not the big class. Those were just in the street class. So,
but you get a ton of those guys, though. It's awesome.
Oh my God.
We quit live streaming like at midnight, and you guys are still going. We ran out of batteries.
Yeah, no, it gets pretty crazy. I mean, the fun thing about my events, though, this October, right there, that's James. I believe you say Benefil. He's from Indiana.
As an announcer, if you don't know how to say it, you say whatever you're wrong with confidence, right, Mike?
Okay.
Quickly.
James Benefil.
Yep, yeah. And you say it quickly, but
Geo Tools, Dirty Dale's, Diesel Performance, and Air Dog.
Yeah. So that truck he runs, that's strictly a dirt drag truck. So he's geared way lower than what you'd see. Does not pull it, doesn't. That's Nathan Banstra. That's a pro street truck that is insanely fast.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yep.
They're coming from everywhere, Mike, to Richland Center, Wisconsin.
So you'll see, 2, maybe up to 3 turbos on that one at this event. Cody Lambert. He's another pro street truck. There again, he runs massive compounds, sometimes triples. And when I mean massive, like they're running like 120 mil chargers on some of these trucks, and a lot of nitrous. There's TJ Fry again, so he's come from Minnesota,
Houston.
That was just that shows you it got a little muddy there last year, and it was kind of funny if you can see in the picture, the owner of the truck wrote that on there for us, so it was pretty neat. But yeah, I think the car that was parked by him might have gotten stuck.
We got the Outlaw Motorhome stuck there in the May.
Yeah, it was soft. But yeah, so this year, we are adding a truck brush bowl. I feel like it kind of goes with the fan base and everything that we're doing there. And we get all these kids that love pulling. And as far as pulling, they got everything from the street class to, what we call a hot street, where they're actually pretty hot trucks. They're, some of these trucks running around are 2,000 horse, 1,700 horsepower street trucks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's pretty normal around this area in southwestern Wisconsin to see trucks with compound turbos as daily drivers and
going from stoplight to stoplight.
Yeah, with air conditioning even, and they have full interiors. Yeah,
and 2 or 3 girls hanging out the window. Mike's married. I'm married. It's all good. We like to dream about being young again.
So yeah, this event it's definitely grown. My sponsors, Viking Village, Bethesda Power Sports, and Hillsborough Equipment. Without the sponsors, these events wouldn't be possible. And there's Gateway Power Sports. They, I worked for them. They let me have the time off to do this. And Lacey, one of the owners, puts all the time in this website. I mean, what we've been watching is a lot of her work, but
it's good stuff.
Yeah, there's many more sponsors, but this I think falls under the same as Poland. None of these events are possible anymore without sponsorship. Stuff has gotten quite expensive these days. So that's a cool shot.
That is a cool shot. Kenzie, did you drop the poster? I know I can put it behind you. Did you put it in the overlays at all?
I did, yeah.
I'm gonna bring that up on the screen. So I really want to talk about the truck pull. Friday.
Yeah. So and there again, back with that truck pull. Obviously Poland is big around this community. But we're gonna be running a 3.6 pro stock class. Mm-hmm. Kind of based off the Badger State rules. And then what I did is it is a brush pull, and I think Foster's said something, but
what's up?
But what I did is
Wesley wants to come on. I can bring Wes on. We're gonna talk about Woodbury, Tennessee next. We'll bring Wesley on. He's all good. Wesley loves pulling. He's a 2-wheel drive truck puller though.
2-wheel drive.
Foster, how are you?
Well,
I'm doing good.
See, he's a 2-wheel drive guy. So I was
actually he's a stud. Like he finished in the top 5 in national points.
I was gonna do 2-wheel drives as like a shootout.
I don't think you won his 3,000 horsepower super modified tool. Actually, Foster's crazy enough to do it.
Well, I mean, for the pole side of it, I was gonna do a featured class as a 2-wheel drive invitational type thing, and then just everything kind of coming down to the crunch. We figured with the class that we had, it would be pretty full, but. So
I feel like with 2-wheel drives, you just throw up a sign and there's 30 of them sign up.
I mean, well, and you got there's a big pulling family, Tim Deppy. He runs 2-wheel drives here.
Yeah, out of Baraboo.
Yep. And then some others. Definitely, there are some 2-wheel drives in this community, and I was gonna do it, and I was like, didn't know if I was gonna have enough time. So as this event grows, the only hope is to have a larger pull on Friday.
So here's what we got going on here.
Yeah.
So Friday, October 11th, everybody. So this is the diesel truck pull.
Yep.
Okay, diesel trucks only. Because I saw a couple.
Well, I do have a gas. There is one gas class.
Who you being nice to?
Well, I don't know who's going to come.
Wes knows this. As a promoter, you always have a local puller.
Well,
back when we started churning dirt, I had a class for everybody. We pulled till 3 a.m. And all my friends said, "Jason, never again."
Yeah. So we're. I did want to hear some noise. I mean, I feel like as a truck enthusiast.
So is this is a $3,000 purse?
Yes. So each price after the classes is your first place prize.
So $3,000 to win the 3.6 pro stocks.
Yes, and then second or
holy shit.
Yeah. That's I was gonna say that's a good payout.
Foster's switching to diesel.
Well,
he's already putting the Duramax in the 2-wheel. Look at him.
Yeah.
You know what?
Seriously.
Yeah,
Kenzie, we got to share this to 4-wheel drive diesel truck.
Yeah, so they're large payouts. Basically, what I did is I went to each one of these bigger groups.
Share the stream.
Yeah.
To 4-wheel drive diesel. Oh, you can.
But I went to these groups and I said, I'm like, hey, what's your biggest payout of the year? And they would tell me, and I'm like, I doubled it. And I'm like, you know what? I want to have a good show and I want to have big stuff. So
all right, so everybody watching this, if you have friends that are in the 3.6 pro stock diesel truck class, $3,000 to win.
That's to first place. And I know
Friday, October 11th.
Yeah, and I probably should have modified the poster a little bit. It was, it's hard to.
Yeah,
hard
you're
to
you're a shitty promoter, Riley. Shame on you.
Hey, we're doing the best we can.
You're throwing $3,000 out there, and you're worried about what people think.
Well, all right, and this is also these classes are sponsored by Rock Diesel of Milton.
Yeah,
Ryan's got two
really good runners.
Yeah, he does.
We see them on Badger State, right?
Yes.
And then I saw the 3.6 trucks out in Sandwich, Illinois.
Okay.
And then the super stock gas. You're gonna have big numbers in that class.
Yeah, it's
big numbers in that class.
It should be a pretty good class. Fair Valley Performance is also a large
Dennis Fry and Ridge.
Yes. And then the work stock, that's
so your work stock is that like a 2.5 turbo?
Well, I believe it goes up to 2.6. That's the more local class off of based off Southwest rules.
Okay.
If you can see on this flyer, there's stars. So if you look at the 1 star, the 2 or 3, we posted it on our
Badger State polling rules.
Yes. So you got the 1 star, you got the 2 stars.
So for 3.6 pro stock is basically PPL Badger State.
Yes.
For super stock gas, we're going to follow PI.
Yes.
Which is Pullers Incorporated for those of you that aren't familiar with Wisconsin.
We did modify the rules a little bit. So
of course I
encourage you to read it because they have so many limitations. We like to see stuff run. So we got rid of some things. But
you're going to be an asshole, right? I just want to throw it out here now.
It is
You
insane.
can't. Oh, yeah, you wait.
Dude.
You wait. Hot Street and Street Diesel, they're going to tear you open.
Yeah, so they already have been. My phone's been going crazy. They're like, what's the difference? I'm like, I don't know. You can have hanging weights. But then they'll put weights in the bed and they'll cover it up. And then they'll try to put riders in there. And I've seen weights on the floorboards. I've definitely seen that.
And I tried a no smoke class once for stock. Oh, you guys, it's impossible.
Yeah. So, but regardless,
it's fun. I'm saying this in jest.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're doing this. This is super cool.
I mean, and as it grows, maybe we can get tractors integrated in this. I mean, I love anything horsepower. I feel like any fan that comes or competitor.
That's a very good pulling track and Richland Center.
Yeah.
It's got good clay and it's got good black dirt mix in there.
And we're doing 2 tracks. We're gonna go 2 tracks. We're gonna have Iron Horse. We're gonna have Johnny with the Iron Horse, and then I don't know exactly who's operating, but we have track control.
Okay.
So we have 2 experienced sleds, that are used to hooking these classes. So you won't have to worry about any, especially here in Southwest Wisconsin. I mean, I think it's pretty hard to find a green sled guy around here anymore.
So work stock trucks. So we're gonna follow Southwest Pullers. $1,000 to win.
Yes, $1,000 per.
They don't pull for $1,000 anywhere in their life.
No.
I hope that people come out and support you on this. 2.6 diesel trucks. We're gonna go PI rules again.
Yep.
1,500 to win. Street diesel 500. That's gonna be Southwest Puller rules.
Yep.
And then Hot Street 8,500 pounds, $1,000.
And the Hot Street you can hang weights. That's why it's 8,500 pounds.
Because you get the dualies, you get the singles, and that's always the thing.
Right, and that's what I wanted them to have the opportunity. A lot of people are like, why do you allow hanging weights? I'm like, because I want everybody to be able to compete. A lot of these kids that come and spectate my event, they got some pretty hopped up trucks. And I feel by having classes that allows you to go out and play after a couple good waters, they might get some encouragement to go pull it.
Right.
We can watch some carnage.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So seriously, if you have anybody with a diesel truck or a gas truck for the super stock, tell them about Richland Center, Wisconsin, Friday, October 11th.
Yeah, and I mean we also have a truck show and shine going on Saturday, October 12th. So on here, basically what you would see on Friday, October 11th at Richland Center Fairgrounds is you're going to see these challenge trucks, the big horsepower trucks I was talking about. They're going to be dynoing at noon until like 8 p.m. And what I mean by that is the challenge, the big guys have to dyno and then see who puts down the most power. But I figured while the dyno's going, we'd have a truck pull to kind of help with that show.
Absolutely. Love it.
So then with that dyno, whatever place you get on that dyno is how many points you get. So if you got first on the dyno, you get 1 point. Now, them points carry over into the drags to overall complete the challenge class. So,
okay.
So if you're in the challenge, you have to dyno. Whatever place you get, you keep track of that. We also keep track of that. But
of course.
And then that carries over into the drags. And same thing, whatever place you get in the drag races is how many points you get. So the lowest amount of points wins. So if Jason got first in the pole class, and then you got second in the drags, and you got an overall of 3 points. So lowest amount of points wins.
So do you have a poster for his overall event? Kenzie, to throw up on the screen quick. We got Wesley. We're talk about Woodbury, but hang out with us, Riley. You can learn about the FFA alumni poll in Woodbury, Tennessee this Saturday.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I'm anything motorsports. Like
we're leaving Friday morning at 7 a.m. Jump in with us.
I got plenty to do to get ready for this. It seems like, these events, obviously, you used to do some very large events here. It really starts to creep up on you once you start getting a crunch time. There's a lot.
It's a great facility. I'm proud of you.
Absolutely.
Super proud of you. So here it is, Diesel Truck Challenge again. So the truck pull is Friday, then his big dollar, the
drag race,
shootout and the drag race and the dyno.
I mean, put it this way, in the challenge class, first place is $12,000 cash, and you don't get 10. I better not say that out loud.
You can say whatever you want.
You don't get $10.99
It's
at
let's
the end
go
of the year.
pull.
But it's $12,000 cash. But now, if you win on the dyno, that's an additional $1,000. If you win in the drags, that's an additional.
So some
$1,000.
bonuses.
Yeah, so like this way it allows
Dude, this is a diesel truck Olympics.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not quite there yet.
Any transgenders? I mean,
I don't know.
Any Cummins in the
It
thing?
seems like the Hazley and side trucks got a lot of they're usually in a lot of these trucks anymore. Otherwise,
a lot of Cummins in offer.
Fire Pump Diesel, they are the name in the drag racing world. They're a huge company. I would love to get them involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
But we're working on it. As I grow, we're starting to grab the attention. I think the payout's really grabbing the attention, and that's my goal with it. Is
and you get guys come the first year, and then that was pretty cool. We need to go do that again, and then it just starts taking off.
And that's where it's been. We're known for our reasonably priced concessions. We are cheap, is what everybody says.
We are cheap,
but but we're realistic about them, and we want the family to come and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is $20 per day or $30 for the weekend.
That's cheap.
So, and like this event in Pennsylvania, let's say I spent quite a bit of money to watch, both days of racing. So, and you just see that with these larger events, and I understand it. Like I said, I have a lot of money going into this event, so I know what it costs. And the wristband sale or your entry fees. I mean, I feel a lot of people I get complaints about that. The most is why we charge so much, and if only they could understand.
If you did it for free, people would complain. Just so you know.
I did.
No, you
used to be for free.
Wesley knows. He's shaking his head back there.
And then I started charging $10 at these Wesley, and then you wouldn't believe the amount of people that were upset. But I feel that.
What do you mean it's not free and I can't bring my own cooler in?
It's like I got $3 beer.
Yeah, pullers bringing in $200,000-$300,000 vehicles for a chance to win $1,000.
Yes.
People are mad because that's what's wrong with our.
There's
sport.
the overall poster. There you go.
There it is. Thanks,
So,
Ken. Can you zoom in on that, Ken?
It's on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So the more pullers we get, the bigger the pull can be in the future. So as we grow, we're doing 30,000 just for the drags, but I would like to see the pull side of it grow that much too, and we can do a large pull drag and just have a fun weekend in Richland Center, Wisconsin.
Good day from Perth, Western Australia. We're going to a pull in Australia before I die.
Yeah.
What time is it, Mr. Ragdoll Racing? What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it in Australia right now?
In Australia, I don't even know how you Is it tomorrow? Is it yesterday?
You do need to get Charles up here sometime and announce. He announces for ODSS. He's our buddy from Michigan.
Does he want? Or no, Charles was there this weekend.
Yeah, he told me. I said you were coming down.
Oh, yeah.
I told him about your event.
Yeah.
No, because I was trying to get Charles to come announce Diesels in Dark Corners.
Yeah.
For on Full Pull Live,
Yeah.
and he's already got an ODSS event in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm working on another. I need to find me an announcer that knows the 3.0s and the 2.6 trucks big time.
Yeah.
You should come down to Diesels in Dark Corners.
I mean, I think it'd be really cool.
Will you run a camera?
Oh God, no! I don't want to do that. I tell you what, I'd be out there promoting though.
I know you would. Yeah, you might jump in with us.
Oh.
I just don't know it yet.
No,
9:41 a.m. Perth.
Oh, so it's Tuesday over there.
Yeah, happy Tuesday, Ragdoll Racing.
Or is it Sunday? I don't know. Whatever.
No, it's tomorrow. He said the
Their
24th.
day.
Oh, there you go.
We
24
speak English. They
He's
just
in the future.
I know.
They sound British.
They sound British, like Canadians.
Yeah, like
No,
Wesley
it's like,
Foster. What's your
it's
best?
like redneck. It's like redneck.
I would say they
British.
sound like Tom LaRue.
Tom LaRue. Oh yeah, the Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, here you stay here, Riley.
All
You
right.
don't got anything to do here. Have a sip of my Coltrane.
I love the Coltrane. Actually,
They're coming.
that was one sponsor that I should have brought up. Coltrane has been a sponsor now for us for 2 years. They've been supporting it, and I would love
Their
to see
banner
it.
was in front of the dyno when that truck blew up,
It
and
did.
I'm like,
You know
that's money.
If they show up this year, it could be in front of it. That's the Northwest Dyno, the Northwest Dyno Series. Cody and Elmer, I mean, they travel a long ways cross country just to come put on this event, but in the diesel mobile dyno world, it is the best dyno you can get. Now, I used to run other dynos, and they used to complain and say, "Oh, my truck should have made this much power," because they read too many forums on the internet. So, you know what? I was like, to put a stop to that, let's get the best dyno that you can get. And that's where Cody and Elmer, we got them out of Northwest Dyno, and they have never disappointed. And them boys, they sure put on a show because they It seems like quite a few trucks have exploded on there so far.
So good.
But
that means they're pushing it.
They're literally setting world records on horsepower for some of these drag trucks. You know, I think the highest right now was 3303 by Chris Patterson on Rivaled. But the way it sounds is that could change here in Richland Center, Wisconsin. We could see a higher horsepower number. So,
are you gonna put the dyno right on the horse track?
Yeah,
the
it's going
grandstand?
to be in front of the grandstand. So it'll be down a little ways because we do have safety precautions. So yes, you'll be able to see them. You'll be able to sit at the grandstands and watch them. But there is quite a bit of a distance that you have to be. But trust me, you're going to be able to see everything just fine. That dyno is very tall, so you can see it very well. And you want to be far away. I've been down at UCC firsthand when these trucks go, and it is something else. So
I love it. Well, we're gonna switch gears now. Wesley Foster. Wesley, we're gonna I gotta play a couple commercials, and then we're gonna be right back with Wesley Foster talking Woodbury, Tennessee. Life is good, everybody. Saturday, September 28th, the reschedule, and it's gonna be all on fullpull.live, and I'm gonna be there for my first time hanging out with Foster in his hometown. I'm quite excited. I gotta find the commercials as I keep talking. Here's our cool Full Pull shirt.
The Pullers Championship is presented by a team of people with a commitment to the sport of pulling and a need to give back to the sport they love. The Pullers Championship was not created to be exceptional. It was created.
Organics Midwest. Put life back into your soil by improving your soil health, enhancing your root systems, and delivering increased crop yields. Revolutionize the way you farm today.
Casper Ag Solutions, here to help you make sense of precision ag. Contact Ed today.
Shop for quality Kawasaki parts, accessories, and gear at KawasakiPartsWarehouse.com.
Lincoln Diesel Specialties offers high-quality diesel performance products and services for various models of trucks. Check them out online.
Hello, friends. We're back. Wesley Foster. Wes, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good to hear your voice. Good to see you. Wesley was one of our guest announcers from. Were you Rockwell? Did you do Rockwell with us?
Rockwell. I did the Friday night session or Friday afternoon session at Rockwell.
Love it. So, as you can see, Woodbury Championship Pool. Wesley's also going to be on weigh-in this Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Central, 7 p.m. Eastern on Full Pull, YouTube and Facebook as well. We're going to have all kinds of cash pick games. We already have them up. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Got some head-to-heads, but excited, Wesley, to come down. The summer was fun. I spent my entire summer covering Outlaw Pulling TV and Full Pull Live. Kenzie and Mike. Mike announces for the Outlaws, runs some Outlaw TV with us. Mike, you know who Wes is, right? Barbed wired, super applied two-wheel drive truck.
I got barbed wired and cross wired is our two trucks that we run.
Okay.
Bring up some pictures so we can get Mike squared away on who Wesley Foster is. So Mike's looking on the internet right now. So anyway, so your event was supposed to be September 14th, right?
14th.
And then the you guys were supposed to have that bad tropical storm, right?
Well, yes, sir. They was on that Thursday. They was calling for 3+ inches of rain. So we was like, let's go ahead and shift gears and try to start scheduling for a separate day. And we was able to get everything lined out for the 28th. And then lo and behold, the hurricane just kind of dissipated, and we didn't even get 1/10 of an inch here for the entire weekend that weekend. So it's one of those things that sometimes the weather changes drastically within a 24-hour time notice there, and that's exactly what happened with us. But I think it's all going to work out in the long run for us. We had a lot of competitors that was supposed to be pulling at the Enderley that weekend that are now going to be able to come. We've got Full Pull coming now, so that we're really excited about that. So y'all had the Enderley that weekend, so now it kind of opened that up for that door, and started making phone calls last week, and everybody kind of got together. And I think it's going to be a great thing to kind of get Full Pull live down here in the South a little bit too.
And that's what, we're trying to put a bigger spotlight on the sport, Wes. So we attracted a bunch of NTPA Grand National fans, honestly, all summer long. We did Rock Valley, right? For the benefit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Wesley, you're going to expose Mid-South to an entire audience that maybe, yeah, we've heard of Mid-South, but there's a lot of good hard running trucks and tractors in Mid-South. But that's why I'm so excited about this fall thing, Mike or Wesley, because we're gonna do TNT, we're gonna do Sevierville, Tennessee, we're doing your event this weekend, we're doing Outlaws, we're doing California, we're doing NTPA region, what is it, 5 out there in North Carolina? I don't even know. Is that region 2?
No,
6.
region 2 is Ohio and Michigan.
But that's my point. You know, we have a very large audience subscribed.
That was a lot of the phone calls that I was fielding whenever we first made the announcement. Well, I thought that Full Pull Live was, NTPA only, and I'm like, no, they're branching out. They do a lot of other pools, and I think that once again, it's just going to open a door and kind of open the spotlight to a different variety of what people are normally seeing. So,
yeah, I mean, as we do this, and wow, look what Full Pull does for our event, Wesley. I mean, you've already seen, just if your social media hasn't kicked up because of us even announcing that we're coming, there's something wrong or you're blind, and I know better than that. Because we put a bigger spotlight on the event.
I agree.
We start talking about it, and it is always better to be there in person, right, Mike? We've talked about this a million times.
Oh yeah. I mean, because this is a sport where you see the power, feel the noise. You know, we kind of always advertise it as, it's like backwards on your senses. But this is awesome. Like for a guy like me on a Friday night, I've got to work all day. I'm not going to Tennessee. It's just not possible for me to be there. But I want to watch pulling. Well, of course you can find, outlaw pulling and Grand National and whatnot, but I want to see what's going on with Mid-South and TNT and some of these associations. So now I'm right there with pulling to watch, nothing else on, and we get to experience, like you said, there's some hard running equipment at some of these associations. So this is a great match between Full Pull, Mid-South, and everything involved.
And which both of you said this, and not to take anything away from Grand National pullers, because we run the Grand National circuit this year, but a lot of people's like, well, running on the Grand National. Listen, the best pullers ain't always on the Grand National circuit. I mean, you find a lot of good vehicles at the state level, and a lot of the times I tell people it's just the Grand National is a lot of times the people that can afford to take off and go weeks at a time with not coming home or leaving on a Wednesday and returning home on Sunday or whatever it might be. But once again, no matter where you go, especially in the 2-wheel drive class that we're in, everywhere you go, you're looking at some of the toughest trucks out there. And I think that proves it. And that's one of the things I've always said about Mid-South. We've always used to, whenever we went to Chapel Hill and run in the 2-wheel drive class at Chapel Hill, every year we was going to have a Mid-South truck in the top 3 there. So we take pride in what we've got. I know last year's, Brad Woods, he's a prime example also. He's run Mid-South points for years and years and won the Super Farm class. Jumped up until the Champion Tour this year and run the Champion Tour, and he ended up winning the Champion Tour points. You've got Greg and Russ Freeze with the Deer Tracks. They run Mid-South just, a lot of times whenever they don't have Grand National pools. They was your Grand National champion for 2023. There's a lot of hard running. Martin Daniels, he runs Champion Tour Lightweight Supers. Started here with Mid-South, and now he was your PPO Champion Tour Lightweight Super Champion this year. So, like I said, I think a lot of the times we do have very good classes, very good equipment here in the South. It's just the matter of getting away from home to making those long distance national events.
I am more excited for Full Pull covering. Sorry, Mike. I'm more excited for Full Pull covering regional pulling as I was about Grand National, because now it's another audience that gets to, and then when they subscribe to Full Pull, so let's say this week only, Wes, we're doing it for $19.99 for the first month. So somebody subscribes to Mid-South, they can go back and watch Bowling Green, Toma, Chapel Hill. I mean, it's the cross back and forth is just going to be through the roof on this. That's why I'm excited that Full Pull just isn't one association. This was just year one. It was never intended to be just NTPA, but we had to start somewhere. And you're going to start with the granddaddy of, and nobody will, I don't care. I'll take it to my grave. There is nothing better in the world than an NTPA Grand National. When you have unlimiteds, diesel supers, big semis, big mods, 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, it's the best. And I love the Outlaws. I love everybody. But
and the size of a lot of the
yeah.
Grand National shows is, I mean,
it's insane.
It's big.
And the crowd, you know, you go into Ohio, that's a different. I mean, I'd always heard about Ohio, Wes, but the crowds at these towns I've never even heard of, like Napoleon and Fort. I mean, I've heard of them, but I never had any idea, Wes. And that's why I'm pumped. And I know you're going to have a hell of a crowd in Woodbury Saturday night. Real quick, I'm talking too much. You're my friend. I get excited when I have my friends on the show. Ford Farms is watching on YouTube. They said Wesley Trevor and his FFA students do a great job with this pull. So I forgot that you're a teacher and like this is like your baby. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, I guess this is my 13th year of being an ag teacher. I never really wanted to be a teacher. I always grew up on the farm. We row crop a little bit, about 1,000 acres, 1,500 acres, depending on the year here. And I went to school for agriculture, and they was like, "Hey, you need a minor." And I was like, "Well, what do you suggest?" And they said ag education, and it just was one of those things that I said, "Well, okay, I'll try it." And I started it, and next thing you know, I'm teaching ag. And people don't understand a lot of times. It's not necessarily what you do, but whenever you start seeing other people succeed by you helping them, especially with those kids in FFA contests and stuff like that, whenever you see other younger people or whatever work hard for something and they're like, "Hey, we done good. We won that contest." Yes, that really is what puts the icing on the cake, is whenever you see someone else succeed by you being the background, you know, helping do whatever it might be to make sure that someone else is successful, not just yourself.
That's awesome. That's well said. Now, Mike, tell them about that. You're a teacher too. I got two teachers on tonight. How this doesn't happen often.
Yeah, it's you know, I reciprocate everything he's saying 100%, and it's you have to have that passion and excitement for it. At the end of the day, you know, I will drop anything and go to a pull. But when there's a concept you've been working on with a student and you see that catch, because to me that's something that translates to pulling, to parenting, to coaching, to all of it, and it clicks. You know, I could go to the best pull in the world. That's a feeling that's still going to be probably going to trump that. You know, when I see that kid who figures it out and then they're able to apply that pumps me up. That fires me up. But I think building common knowledge, especially at these smaller areas, I assume you're from a more rural, smaller school where you can build these common interests with students, like agriculture, like being an outdoorsman, like being in truck and tractor pulling and FFA. You know, that's something kind of neat too, because then you feel like you're a part of the community and you're just kind of building, you know, a little bit more. You're not just giving facts to a bunch of students who are going to go on and go to college. You're helping people put their hands on stuff that's going to be successful in your own backyard. And I can't think of a better way to do it than a truck and tractor pull. FFA and truck and tractor pulling is a match made in heaven. I mean, it's just, let's be honest, you know, it really is. So.
And, you know, it's like our school, like you said, we're a small school. We've got right at 500 students in the school. But I think that I looked today because I knew it was coming on here, and we've got right at 200 students in the ag program. I think it was like 220, something like that. So we're not hardly half the school, but over, you know, a third of the school, about 40-something% goes through the ag program there. But now here's what I like the best thing about the FFA and the tractor pull that we have, and you can ask anybody that's came to our event, any puller, when you pull up to the gate to work or to pay to get in, it's kids working the gate. When you go to the concession stands, it's kids working at the concession stands. They truly work hard to achieve what they do, but now at the end of the day, it also pays off for them guys. Over the past 2 or 3 years, we've purchased over 125 FFA jackets for our members. Basically, they've got a checklist. Cool. If they complete, you know, different things, then they get their FFA jacket for free. We've got a contest tomorrow that, you know, I don't charge a thing for my students to go. The way I look at it is, if they're competing for us in the program and representing us, we buy their meals, we buy their registration, their travel, and all that. So, and it's you know, thanks to the tractor pull. So we're able to do all this and fund the things that these students need by this tractor pull. So it is huge for us to be able to have this year in and year out.
Yeah, absolutely. What is it? There's a thing that you guys run in your FFA program. I always forget what it's called. Is it SAE or something like that?
SAE. So that's supervised agriculture experience.
So we've got a guy who pulls with us in the Outlaws. He's a young gun. He's a rookie this year from Southwest Missouri, and he pulls a pro stock 4-wheel drive truck, and his truck is actually his SAE, project. So a lot of neat ways to get your hands on. Give us the nitty gritty of the pull. Tell us, when do gates open? Tell us who's going to be there. Tell us what sets this pull apart and why people need to tune in either in person or on Full Pull Live.
The gates will start at opening at 4:00. I like an early show. I don't know about anybody else, but I want to try to have my show done at 10 o'clock, 10:30. Let's load up and go home. If you'll ever pay attention, that usually you start losing the crowd around 9 o'clock, 9:30, somewhere right in there, and then especially around 10 o'clock you start seeing it. So my viewpoint on that is you're wasted money whenever your spectators start losing or leaving, and you still have classes to run. So we try to start at 6 o'clock in the afternoon and try to get it done before 10 o'clock, because once again, that's when your spectators are paying attention and watching and everything. But we've got some really great classes there in Mid-South. Like I said, 2-wheel drives. I'm going to guess we'll have somewhere around 18 2-wheel drives there. Lightweight supers, I'm going to guess probably around 12, 10 to 12 lightweight supers. Super farms, probably 10 to 12. And then the light limiteds, we're looking at probably 10 to 12 on them also. But like I said, the biggest thing that you'll see whenever you come or you're there in person, Jason, this weekend, there's kids working everywhere. And we have to build the facility that we're at. So whenever we start a few weeks ago, it's just an open lot here at the fairgrounds, and we have to set the concrete barriers. We've got to build the bleachers. We've got to set up everything there is to set up. It's just open. And then whenever we leave, on Sunday or Monday, we've got to sew it back down in grass, and it will, everything will be put right back to place. So it takes a lot of hard work to get it done. And like I said, once again, every time we go to do something, I've got high school students, and that's something that you don't see anymore either, is work ethic in our youth. I hate to say that, but I mean, it really is. It's hard to find young people that are actually willing to get out there and do manual labor, like putting up safety fencing or whatever we might need. And that's one thing that I'm really proud about my bunch here, that I try to instill, that work ethic gets you a lot farther in life than a lot of things anymore. So we try to do everything that we can to have some of the best shows. Jason, you can weigh in on this. What is some things that you as a promoter could do to make your pullers feel more appreciated? That's a question that my students ask me whenever we're sitting down every year trying to work on the pull. They're like, what can we do as a promoter that makes a pull feel more welcomed or more want to come to our pull than somewhere else?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, just hospitality. I think it's neat when promoters like this time of year can call around and say, hey, I know your point season's done. Why don't you come on out down to Woodbury, Tennessee, and get the final hook in? That's something that when you get a phone call and people invite you to come, that's pretty cool. For the longest time, puller meals weren't that big of a deal, Wesley. Promoters didn't feed pullers. Now they kind of do. Mm-hmm. It's really, Wesley, this is something I've never done, but I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to just put a bucket in the crowd. And I thought of this in church the other day. They passed a collection plate per class. Like for the 12,005 farm stock, we're going to start 6 o'clock. Just pass a bucket, and just if everybody threw $1 in there, think about that. Mm-hmm. And then do it for each class. I mean, at the end of the day, but making you feel welcome. As in Lane always talks about Chapel Hill, Wesley, the hospitality. I mean, the promoters go around and talk to everybody. Thank you for coming. Simple things is like when a toter pulls in, give them a trash bag. Because everybody hangs out afterwards, and then you just set it down there. What's that say?
We give as soon as you pull in the gate, every puller gets a hat for it. And like I said, every year we sit down with our, and they're like, what can we do that sets us apart from other pools that you've been going to? And I'm 35 years old, and I've been going to pools my entire life. And I tell them, like, hey guys, I've never got a handwritten invitation from a promoter before. And they're like, okay, that's what we're doing. Get us some addresses. So every year we get we get the membership list from Mid-South Pullers, and every puller that's a member, I make sure, or the kids, they make sure that we get every puller a handwritten invitation. Please come support us. We'd love to have you. And I'll tell you something, which I've seen it a lot more on the national circuit this year, but at a lot of state events, we kind of got away from, I say we did, but promoters, I feel like, moved away from like trophies or awards or anything, and which one of my co-teachers, she's big into horses and rodeos and stuff like that. And she's like, let's do belt buckles for the winter. So we've got some nice champion belt buckles going on. In the past, we've paid all the pullers entry fees. So you come to our pool, we pay your hook fees and everything, this year we had a rain out last year, and then we had to reschedule this year. So I'm not going to be able to do the entry fee thing this year, but I'm hoping once I get, a little more, I guess, in my bank account and kind of recoup from the reschedule and the rain out last year, we'll go back to paying everybody's entry fees. And then I heard the guy a while ago, whenever he was talking about the purse for his events, what's the highest purse you run for? We tried to double the winner's money for our event that Mid-South normally pays. We said, let's double that and go ahead and try to pay more than what they normally pay around here and stuff like that. But, we just try to do everything. We want to be the best, no matter what it is. And whether it's an FFA contest or trying to promote a tractor pull, we want to try to do the best that we can do at it.
So breaking news, this is the first time that 12,500-pound farm stock 8-mile-an-hour class are going to be live streamed on fullpull.live. I'm so pumped for those. I mean, we love it. We have a Facebook page called Farm Stock Tractor Pullers. We have over 100,000 followers on that. Oh, yeah. 140,000. It's fun, Wesley, to do that.
So
Wesley,
there's a big class of these guys down here. I'd say there's probably 25, 30 of them most weekends. And I say, guys, I'd love to have all 25 or 30 of you, but I'm going to have to put a cap on it. So we've got 12 of them coming. But like I said, and you guys will agree, I honestly think once you get, somewhere between 10 and 12 vehicles in a class, that's really all that the average spectator wants to see. They're ready to see something else.
Yep.
I love two-wheel drive trucks, but I didn't want to watch 62 of them at Bowling Green either, there's no lies
nobody
to
did.
tell,
Nobody did.
Yeah, and once again, we're here trying to make that spectator happy, and every 30 to 45 minutes, they're ready to see something different. So, we try to rotate the classes in and out, and try to move as fast as we can, and we usually have multiple track scrapers and rollers, and try to do it as fast as we can. And we're trying to get done by, like I said, that 9:30, 10 o'clock, because once again, that spectator's ready to go home or, ready to go to bed at that time too.
So Wes, do you have your kids tomorrow? Do you have a regular class with them, or how do you do that?
Well, tomorrow I've got a contest tomorrow at one of the local universities. So I'll be taking 25 kids on a school bus to a contest tomorrow. Now the rest of the week. What will be
your biggest class, Wes, this weekend for entries? Will it be the two-wheelers, the super farm, the light supers,
two-wheel
or
drives.
the light limited?
Two-wheel drives.
Talk to those kids on that bus tomorrow. And I think if you had your announcer say, all right, we're going to pass a bucket through the crowd, and just throw in whatever it's getting, you're going to split that money among those two-wheel drive truck pullers. Wes, I think that'd be something, seriously, that remember forever. Talk to the kids about that. Because you're saying if you want to do something different, pick a class.
I know what you're saying. Yes, sir.
Pick a class and just do one. And just pass the bucket. You know what I mean? I think it'd be neat. I always thought it'd be cool, like with the 50-50 raffles. If half, went to, or part of it to a puller or whatever, then whoever won the 50-50.
We get in trouble with our school system for doing 50-50 raffles. We're not allowed to do that. But
rules.
Especially with the school system, you kind of fall into a different thing. But there are things that we can do. So, but like I said, you will see. Hopefully everything goes good. The weather kind of looks a little wet on Friday, but everything's supposed to be moving out for Saturday. And I think that we should have great weather and everything on Saturday. So.
Well, I was texting you earlier, and you said your pits are 80% gravel. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, which we're at the Fairgrounds, they're in a ballpark and everything. I would say that probably 80% of it is on gravel or asphalt. Now, some of the parking, we start shoving them in corners and stuff like that. But I would say majority of it is on asphalt, gravel, on good firm ground. So, and then once you unload, you've just about got a gravel road all the way to the track and all the way back from the track. So the rain of, the amount of rain doesn't affect me, or I say it doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me as much as just as long as it ain't raining at 1, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon leading up to the event.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it scares your fans away too.
correct. I know last year we had a rain out and we did everything we could to have it have that event last year. But there was we had, it was raining straight down, and there was probably half the grandstands was still, I mean, it was full of people just sitting there in the rain, and we're like, what is up with these people? They're just sitting here. But we was completely out of spectator parking, and people was just sitting in the cars waiting for the door to open up, or, for the, I guess, the break in the rain to come in. And it really hurts you as a promoter to see that you let people down on, the rain and stuff like that. But there's just some things you can't control,
So is it at your fairgrounds, or where's it at?
It is at our county fairground. So a little bit of history. So actually Woodbury Tractor Pull started in the early 1970s. There was also a little tractor pull that was about, 40 minutes away. They both started in the same year. Woodbury and Chapel Hill started in the same year. And
Wow.
they
Toma did too?
Yeah, Chandler and I figured that out today.
like I said, they're all right there in the early 70s. They all started, and they all started, Woodbury and Chapel Hill was really fighting back in those days for which one, was going to be the bigger pool. And it's just a small town, and it kept growing. In the 80s, Chapel Hill made the jump to go to the national circuit, where I guess Woodbury really decided to stay with the state level at that point. And then there was a few little items that happened in the late 80s, and Woodbury just kind of dissolved as a tractor pull. But whenever I started back teaching at Canyon County High School there in Woodbury, I was like, this is one thing that I want to bring back to Woodbury, just to have something here. It's off to the left a little bit. You see the baseball fields?
Yep.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Yep.
Now, if you'll zoom in right there.
So when I was looking this up on Google Earth the other day, and this would be like a fun thing that people could do, whatever Google Earth Images has of it, the tractor pull was going to occur momentarily because they had the white chalk lines on the track on Google Earth. So it had actually been prepped. So that's like our viewers out there, go to Google Earth and find us a picture of a fairgrounds where a tractor pull is
Justin
actually
Pemberton
occurring.
Park will get you there. Justin Pemberton Park.
Oh shit!
Work there, or it's no, back up.
Oh,
Do 618 Lehman Street.
Spell Lehman for me.
LEH. Street. There you go.
Normally I can zoom in. It's like, this is like a different one. There we go.
Yeah. It's a little blurry. But you can see right above the Lehman where the track actually runs right there.
No, go
Right
down
there.
the other way, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're covering it up. There you go. Up. Too far.
Right here?
No. Go up. It's right above the word Lehman. You can see the track.
Oh, the grassy area right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I said earlier, we have to sow it back down in grass, and we try to make the fairgrounds exactly the way it was whenever we leave. So it was actually kind of funny back in the summer. Everybody was like, man, the greenest spot on the whole fairgrounds is over there where the tractor pull track is. So
There, can I do a little flyover here?
Wonder why it won't let you zoom in there.
Mike, normally I can zoom right in like to that. What did I not pay my
This
bill?
is one of those restricted Tennessee areas where things get a little interesting and the internet doesn't want you poking around. And Mr. Jack Daniel has his secret recipe posted on the side of a barn or something down there, and you can't look at it.
Oh, Kenzie, I didn't have my mouse, guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Or Jason.
There we go.
There you go. And like I said, whenever we started here, it was just a lot. And every year we try to add lights to it. We try to add power. We try to, do something that to try to improve every year there with it. So, which once again, you see that it's just an empty lot right there. Jason, I sent you some kind of drone shots from a couple of years ago where you could halfway see it. I don't know if you can pull those up or not, but
see if it's sent just a messenger. But this is on
it
Google
was just
Earth.
it was text message.
Yeah. Kenzie's looking at my phone right now.
Okay. But like I said, it's
Wesley Foster.
It's really been big. It's been huge for our FFA chapter and everything when we was able to start this back in 2001. We've had 2 successful events there, and both of them won Mid-South Pullers one-day pull of the year, both times that we was able to have it successfully, which, like I said, last year it rained us out, and this will be our 4th year attempt on getting the pool back up and running. So, but Jason, I know you said that, or the other day you was at the Phillips shop and everything. I heard Brandon say that he was planning on bringing. Is he bringing 1 or 2 tractors, or
he's bringing 1? Larry's going to Georgetown somewhere.
Okay,
and then Brandon's
Georgetown,
coming
Ohio,
to your.
ain't it?
Yeah, Brandon's coming to your event.
Okay. I keep trying to get Chase to come too, but I don't know if he will or not.
You want his cell phone number?
I've got his cell phone number. All summer long, he's been telling my dad that my dad could drive his truck, and then every day, Dad's like, "All right, I'm ready to go, Chase," and he's like, "Nah, not tonight, Steve. I'm gonna take the wheel tonight." So that's what I'm waiting for him to show up and finally hold up to his end and let Dad drive his truck this week.
I'm grabbing those pictures right now. Give me a second, guys.
Okay, you're good.
Wesley, what's your favorite Tennessee whiskey? Something
Well,
close to your track.
I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any kind of that kind of stuff. I'm just addicted to truck and tractor pulling. So
Good answer as a teacher. Your boss probably watches this show sometimes too. Well said. Yes.
Well, the thing about it is,
Jason.
the thing about it is, I'm not lying. So, but
oh, there's some good photos. Wow, that's beautiful. I can't wait, dude. That's beautiful. Foster, you got your stuff together, man. That's a beautiful. Wait till you see this, Mike. You're gonna want to call in sick Friday to school. I hope your superintendent's not watching.
Talking about calling in sick, he was whenever I had to do the voice or the commentator at Rockwell, I was sick that day too. Now, Jason. So
I got one of them. Check that out, Mike.
Yeah.
So the swimming pool over there on the bottom right-hand corner, they filled that in, and that's more. We used it as parking last year, but I think they've started putting up playground equipment around that this year, so we're limited on that. But
I'll tell you what, Tennessee just builds really pretty places to have truck and tractor pulls. They've always got the grass right on the edge of the red dirt, that clay style of track down the middle of it. I mean, yeah.
This is actually in a river bottom, and there's not actually a lot of clay in it. So if you see the big covered pavilion off to the right over there, there's a river just runs right behind that. So
no kidding.
It's actually in a floodplain, a river bottom there. So now originally back years ago, the track was angled in the opposite direction. It would start about where the American flag is, and run towards about where it ends at now. But whenever we started this back up a few years ago, we actually tilted it so we could get a little bit more runoff room. We've actually got about 450 feet that we prepare and everything. I know that the winner in the two-wheel drive class there was about like Rockwell, Iowa. I think it was like 390 or something like that a few years ago. So,
Mike, I think you hurt somebody in Ohio's feelings. They said, "Have you ever heard of Ohio?"
Well, no, I was just going to talk about that too. Fort Recovery offers a venue that is just about as good. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, but the Chapel Hill and the Woodburys, it's pretty venues down there.
Yeah, and just like they said right there, man, we're right in the middle of a bunch of hills and hollows and mountains and everything. So it sits right there in the middle, and it is a very pretty place right there. So
no cell phone service.
I love it. Yeah, no cell phone service.
Actually, you do. You have We usually have full service Verizon. I don't know if you're AT&T or what, but Verizon's usually pretty good right there. So
here's the rules for the 12.5 farm stock class. I wanted to put these up here.
we've actually met our limit on how many we've got this year. So
all right, well,
I've got a full class. Well, like I said, it's just, and you know what I'm talking about, just like the 2-wheel drives earlier, we're just trying to, I said, give me about 10 or 12 of them, and that will put on a good class of the farm stock, and then it's going to be time to move on to the next class, so.
Yep.
But you will see a lot of your, what I guess you call your national pullers that will be there. Just like me and my brother, we run the national circuit. Daryl Norman run it with us this year. He'll be there. He's coming off, they're coming off a big win from Fayetteville last Friday night with that truck. And, you'll have Greg and Russ Freeze there with the deer tracks. Brad Wood said he was coming. Like we talked a while ago, Brandon Phillips will be bringing his tractors. I know usually Scott and Colton Whitworth normally come down. They told me that if they can get out of the field this year, then they'd definitely be there. They said they was planning on coming, but they couldn't promise anything. And that is one of the hard parts about being this late in the year. A lot of people are in the field. So,
right.
Like I said, I know that Tim Beatty, Mikey White, they're coming in the 2-wheel drive class. Usually Bob Barbie, Tim Messer, they'll show up. We'll have a big 2-wheel drive class. Dale Nelson usually comes down from Illinois. I think a lot of people want to come and try to beat you in your hometown. I know a few years ago, Dale Nelson called that Saturday morning. He's like, "What's the address to this place?" And I said, "Dale, why are you coming from Illinois?" And he said, "I'm coming to beat you in your hometown." So maybe that's what it is. They all want to come down here and try to beat us in the hometown, and that is the hardest place to do good is whenever you're pulling in your hometown. You can go and win Bowling Green, Ohio one weekend, and then go to your hometown the next weekend and get dead last place, and they're like, "Boy, man, you ain't having too good of a summer." No, I'm not. So, but like I said, I think it'll be a really great show. I'm a little upset that we lost the limited pro class because Mid-South has got a really nice limited pro class right now. Usually 10 to 12 limited pros, but whenever we had to reschedule, Mid-South is running limited pros, mini rods, and diesel four-wheel drive pickup trucks in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee the same night. So those classes will be going to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and then we'll be running the other classes there in Woodbury. So
I'm just glad you got to reschedule it. A lot of times you lose it, and I'm proud of you for that. I'm glad you guys are able to keep that going. So
yeah, like I said, we're just got our fingers crossed and praying for the rain to come through Friday and go through and be gone. So.
Well, don't leave us yet. I'm going to play a quick promo for Full Pull Live, then we'll come back and wrap up with you.
Are you ready for the ultimate pulling showdown? Join us live on September 28th as Full Pull Live brings you the Mid-South Pullers Association Woodbury Championships straight from Woodbury, Tennessee. Catch every moment of the action from your living room and feel like you're in the center of the excitement. New users can dive in with an exclusive subscription offer for just $19.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. Subscribe now and experience the thrill of Full Pull Live.
So you can see we use a lot of the video. I asked you to send me a list of people, but didn't have any video from Woodbury. But I asked Kenzie and Chandler to go.
Hopefully you will next year.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're gonna have a video of everybody that goes down the track. So.
But no, like I said, we're really excited, and we're glad you guys are being able to come down, and we're going to try to put on a great show for you this Saturday.
Who do you want to get on Wednesday? Weigh in Wednesday with us? You going to bring any students in or any pullers in, or what's your idea?
I can. I've got my. The Tennessee State FFA president, he's actually was our former president of our chapter. So I think he's going to come in and talk with you guys on at the Tractor Pull Saturday with the pre-show and stuff like that. But I'll try to get a couple of people. I reached out to Will Teasley and a few others that's going to try to come in, but I don't know who exactly is going to be able to come in on Wednesday. Like I said, everybody right now, they're in the the cornfields or trying to get everything out of the field so they can come and play this weekend. So,
all right. So Wes, you guys stay on here, but you don't have to answer any of these. But Mike, we're gonna let Mike make some picks, okay? Wes,
oh, let's go. Picking with Jason's money.
So we have games up this week. Here's Woodbury, Tennessee. So H2H is head to head. All right. So who do you like out of that group? Do you like who's just got to pick who will do the best, Mike? Apex, Will Teasley, Barbed Wire, Wes Foster, TJ Wallace Motorsports, or Kryptonite, Wesley Lusk. Who do you like out of that?
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, the man's
don't pick me.
Sitting,
don't pick me.
Man's sitting right
once
here.
Again, it's our hometown. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but when those happen
in your hometown.
So the only person who wants you to win more in your hometown than yourself is the announcer, because that immediately makes for the best story that you can give to the fans right there.
See, I'm thinking about letting my dad drive the truck this weekend, though.
On this one, Jason, I'm picking the Untouchable. That truck was actually built about 30 minutes within my house. That's a former Northeast Missouri truck that's bounced around and been sold. So we
was it Collins that had it originally?
Yes.
Jim Collins?
Up there around like Shelbina or Shelbyville, Missouri, in that area, just right down the road. I've seen that one run many times when I was a young kid.
They're coming off a big win in Fayetteville, Tennessee the other night. They won right at by 10 feet the other night. So Daryl's he's really had a good season all in all. He's always been just 4 or 5 feet back, and in the two-wheel drive class, 4 feet back could move you back 10 spots, 15 spots, this summer, especially whenever you've got 45 trucks and 30 trucks, just a few feet make a huge difference every weekend.
Oh, it's huge, especially in that class. All right, light supers, Michael. Who do you like out of Kevin Essery, Martin Daniel, and Brandon Phillips?
Brandon Phillips.
Yeah.
His dad is the defending champion at Woodbury, so.
And who do you like out of that? Over the Edge?
That light trouble. I've seen that one run a couple of times, and it's a bullet. That is one of those that if it stays between the white lines the way that it should, that thing has all the speed in the world.
I can't wait to get a video of that, Kinsey. That thing is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so there's your light
Ryan
super.
Henley and Kenneth Hale, they've got that thing. It runs really good, too. Kevin Essery, he's got that Evening Thunder. It's on a set of rails right now too. He's very hard to beat in the lightweight super class down here in Mid-South. So
we're at fullpullpicks.com, fans. The games are up for this weekend already. Super Farm head-to-head, Mike. Ridge Runner versus Green Fever. Who do you got out of those two?
Those are your top two in the points too, I think.
Yep.
I don't know these vehicles. So Ridge Runner, of course, that's not the Ridge Runner I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the light super stock that's up from Iowa or Wisconsin or something like that.
Indiana.
You're thinking of Linville's.
Yeah, Chris, I talked to Chris the other day, and he said that they originally had planned on coming to Woodbury on the 14th, and they was going to try to come this weekend. But I think Georgetown, Ohio will have a few of those competitors go up there, so they'll have a great show up there in the lightweight super class too.
And then Mike, who do you like between Bare Bones Binder and Financial Mistake?
Well, we want to go with Financial Mistake just because you're allowing me to play with your money right now. So how are we not going to bet on Financial Mistake?
It's all good, Mike. All right. Then we got those are the three classes we're betting on. We got games also up for Hillsdale, Michigan, Shockton, Ohio, and then we'll come back.
Is Hillsdale, is that where the Remedy, before it was the Remedy, debuted last year?
Yeah, so last year I really wanted to get my dad into Louisville, and they said they wanted. I said if I had any chance, my dad needed to drive it at least once. So we took up to Hillsdale, Michigan. It didn't matter; we didn't get in anyway. They only take 6 diesel supers, so it's okay. But yeah, we pulled at freaking midnight. If I knew they were going to do that, I would have asked to lace hook earlier, but that's okay. But it's a hell of a crowd, big crowd.
Yeah.
Big crowd. So, but that's all up at fullpullpicks.com, everybody. I'm excited. Wes, I love that Full Pull gets to come in and put a bigger spotlight on this event. This should, not that it wasn't popular before, but hopefully you put a bigger bang on the buck here for you this weekend. I'm excited to come down. So
we talked earlier in the week too, or I guess it was the end of last week. I understand that Woodbury FFA and the Woodbury Tractor Pool is getting a lot of the attention right now with this, but I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to the pullers of Mid-South too.
Yeah.
A lot of people that normally doesn't get out there and get to be on Full Pull Live every weekend or something. I think it's going to open up the door for a lot of them to show what they're capable of doing also. So.
Yeah, Mike, shout out to Wes. We've been talking obviously about this. And he's like, Jason, I want to get some people on Countdown to Pull Time that normally don't get that Grand National exposure. I mean, how humbling is that, Mike? That's cool.
So I got a taste of this when I was doing interviews at Louisville at the National Farm Machinery Show last year. First of all, if you're ever a state level puller, representative, liaison, promoter, your attitude needs to be exactly what Wes has got going on right here. You need to say our stuff can run with your stuff any day of the week. Our pullers like to be home the same night, so it's about travel. But Mid-South, I'm telling you, this whole season, you kind of you keep an eye on them. There's hunger down there, and there's good iron. And I like what you're doing. You're coming on here and you're saying, look at us. We deserve to be looked at. And, Scott, if you want to come run with us, good luck, because we've got good equipment.
It's just like me and my brother this year. We ran the Grand National Circuit back probably in 2011. But I would say that with Mid-South, that probably 90% of the events is within 2 hours of my house. And
right.
So it's really hard to drive away. You take Rockwell, Iowa, that same weekend, I had a hook that was 30 minutes from my house on Friday and Saturday night. So there we drove to Rockwell, Iowa, and, we farm, and normally we have wheat in the summertime and in June, and that kind of messes up our truck pulling schedule a little bit. But we was in the middle of a drought last fall and we didn't get wheat planted. We said, well, you know what? That's going to let us go to some pools that we don't normally get to go to. Let's go to Farley, Iowa. I've never pulled there. Let's go to Toma. It's been, 10, 12 years since we've been to Toma. And we went to Farley and Toma and Brandenburg. And whenever we left the first 3 events, we was like, you know what? We're doing pretty good. Let's try to finish this out, and that was one of the big things that put us, to running the national circuit, and got down to the end of it. And we was like, well, we're here. Let's finish it out. So kind of glad that we did. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens next year. But at the end of the day, I still feel like I'm a Mid-South puller at heart. And that's, what we like to do and where we like to run. But every once in a while, we do get to jump up and run with the big boys.
Yeah, I love
what's the best you or your brother? Oh, go ahead, Michael.
Well, I was just going to say just that Mid-South, you can tell you guys are proud of what you've got. You're a hungry association. You represent your association as well as your own vehicle. It's a whole culture that you guys are building, and it's very evident anytime you talk to one of your pullers. I'm a big fan of it.
You started to ask something about my brother, Jason.
What's the best you or your brother have done at home and Woodbury, finish-wise?
Last year we were 3rd and 4th out of 19, I think. So it was, once again, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate running for points because it takes you out of a lot of the stuff. Every time I go every weekend, I want to win a pool. And sometimes whenever you're running for a points championship, you have to say, okay, do I want to win this pool or do I want to make an A-B pass and try to win the points? And the last year we went to Woodbury, I was actually leading the Mid-South points at that point in time. And it was one of those things like, do I go out there and try to win this pool or do I try to win the points? So we just we kind of went with we've got a couple of more hooks and let's make what we can. And they did have a pull off that night and everything. And I missed it, but not running for points this year at this point in time. So maybe it might be different this year.
What you're saying is you're going to get after it, Foster.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I hope that we've got everything set up to. But once again, it's a hometown pool, and I think any puller will tell you that that's the hardest place to win is your hometown pool. So there's always some kind of gremlin that gets you. You run out of bounds or something happens every time. So.
Well, Wes, you're an hour ahead of us. Go to bed. We're going to see you Friday night. The production trailer is going to roll in Friday afternoon, early Friday evening. Kenzie and I are driving down. We'll be there by 8 or 9 Friday night, and I'm excited to talk to some pullers, meet some pullers. It's always fun to see stuff that we normally don't get to see, Wes. That's what Kenzie and I are most looking forward to, and really to bring that full pull live spotlight into your event for a great venue, and really just, I don't know, put on out all the bells and whistles and try to make this event as big as we can for you guys. We're excited to be part of it. Thank you for the opportunity, Wes.
Hey, thank you guys for coming too.
And then I'll get you the link for Wednesday night here tomorrow. Okay, bud?
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Wes Foster, Woodbury, Tennessee. Mike, you got the Jonesies. You got to be wanting, after seeing those pictures, you got to be a little jealous.
This is a man who, as a teacher, has found a way to work in tractor pulling as a part of his day-to-day job. Like this guy, he is going to school and having meetings with his principal where they are talking about the tractor pull together.
I can see it now. The Bevier, Missouri Grand Nationals outlaw truck and tractor pulling. Mike Eitel is going to be the announcer. He's going to run starting line camera with the microphone.
Oh man, how cool would that be? So
I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. No, I'm pumped. Yeah, we can get you a wireless mic, Mike. It's all good.
I pulling, like doing what I do all day at school anyway, but not hiding it. How fun would that be?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we're not done. We're gonna start doing this segment all the time at the end of our show. Throwback. We got to think of a cooler name though.
Yeah,
you think
we do. Kinsey and I had an accidental meeting about this today. She tried to talk to me. I was in StreamYard, and I didn't know she was also in StreamYard.
We did that the wrong ones too. And that's a different story though. So
yeah, no. Okay, yeah.
No.
Moving on.
Yeah, no.
But
so Mike, you take over. So did you make a graphic yet?
No.
But I do want to show you our weekend. We do have a graphic for our weekend recap, Mike. Even though we already did that.
Are we gonna show it?
Down.
We gotta get better. We get these more good. Oh, bit of video, Kenzie.
Yeah.
Oh, check it out.
It has no sound to it, but
we can make our own sound.
Mhm.
I love it.
Before we get going, I'm going to throw a comment up on here because this worked out pretty well. Our Parade Alley Lounge Bowling Green enthusiast came into the show earlier. So, folks, for those of you out there who aren't aware, I'm launching kind of a passion project. I've got several old vintage pulling pictures that I had from as a kid. My dad had. We just have access to them. All taken by someone in my family. And I've been scanning them in, putting them out online. And just want to bring them on here and give fans a chance to see them and talk about them. So Parade Alley Lounge earlier, he goes, we should interview Dave Banner. Of course, Dave Banner's had a YouTube video out recently. There's been some coverage of him. But tonight's first throwback picture, look at this right here for all the world to see. You have, now this would have been around, now Kinsey, I can't figure out how to get this comment off here. Oh, here we go.
I'll type the comment again.
Found it. So this would have been all the pictures that you guys are going to see. And Jason, you'll recognize some of these locations because of talking with your dad and going pulling and whatnot. So every picture I'm going to post up here is going to be between 1982 and probably 2002. And they're either going to be in Bethany, Missouri, Kirksville, Missouri, Macon, Missouri, and then we have some oddball ones of like Mount Sterling, Illinois as well. So I think this photo is time-stamped and marked 1985. And this is probably going to be one of the last pulls they had at Bethany, Missouri, maybe in those years where the NTPA started transitioning out of Bethany and up into Kirksville and down into Macon. But this is a tractor right here that is one of the most iconic and most famous tractors that would have been out and about in the day. What with the Banners, I think the Banners were the winningest team or vehicle. I think they have more Grand National champions.
Mike, put that picture back up. Nobody wants to see you. They want to see that tractor.
I think they have more Grand National championships than any other pulling team out there. I'm not saying it right, but I think you guys are getting the gist of it. But this one was Big Ben. It wasn't Banner Orange. They didn't always name their vehicles, didn't always name their tractors. But if you zoom in, you can just see it says Banner Brothers on the side. But this is Big Ben, 5 engines on it. I didn't realize until watching some videos recently, these guys built a brand new tractor every single year. just top to bottom up. They said by the time they were done, they had built like 35 or more pulling tractors. So they just essentially every year was like a brand new chassis to top up tractor. So cool one right there. Followed by Brett Berg. Now, most people, when you think Brett Berg, you're probably thinking the moneymaker, right? You're probably thinking the 4-engine mod. And of course, at one point he had the 5-engine mod where you take that one on and off. He even had a mini rod. So this is going to be, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if this is a 7500 Super or a Pro Stock. This one's been easy to identify because it's written right on the side. Brett Berg piloting the Badass Binder. Now, his dad, Bill Berg, also owned an 88 series tractor that I think was called like Tough Enough or Never Enough or something like that. And it later went on to become the 20 Mule Train. So
Dickerson's?
Yes. Yes. So, and I don't know if this tractor right here.
20 Mule Team.
Yeah.
20 Mule Team. Yeah.
Train. He's thinking of me watching me drink my Coltrane.
The 20. You're drinking your 20th Coltrane.
No, I've had my second Coltrane. So.
Now, Kenzie, you won the internet this week because
Yes,
you took. She goes, yes, I did. You took the ultimate action shot of Redline Fever from Spencer. So now you can see the original. So this would be, I assume, about the first rendition or first edition of the Redline Fever. Now, of course, Esden's gone back to the gold grill. He's done that within the past 2 to 3 seasons. But here you can see an example of how he really had that gold theme early on. And one thing I love looking at this picture, and this is going to be, yet again, I think this one's around 1985 as well. He's got an interview, and I don't remember who he did it with. I don't remember when I saw it. But he was one of the first to really start pioneering low-profile cut tread on his tires. He said he got a brand new set of tires, and he took a chainsaw to him, and his dad liked to cry when he saw him out there cutting all the lugs off of them. But you can see, I want you to think, I think this is around 1985. And for the cut profile on these tires at that time, that would have been very, very, very slick and small profile compared to what everyone else was running. And you can also see the development of this tractor over the years where he's got the 2 smokestacks running not front to back, but side to side right in the middle. And I don't know if he's got his big air intake on the opposite side of the tractor or not, but you can kind of see how this one's developed. So Kenzie's got the modern version of it. That, of course, is where it started. Then we go to some more. We're going to get a little sentimental here. Going to unlock some core memories. This, I can tell you exactly. I could walk over to where this picture was taken tonight. This is in the pits at Macon, Missouri. This is 1992 at the Show Me Showdown. And that is my father and myself sitting on the hood of Floyd Hilton's Floyd's Toy 2. Neat about this, I always grew up looking at this picture and remember loving this 2-wheel drive. 2023, last time I went to Chapel Hill, Tennessee, they actually scattered Floyd Hilton's ashes right on the track. So that was kind of a full story moment for pulling. This is going to be one of the first pulls I ever attended. And I just remember looking at this picture growing up as a kid. He had 2 pulling vehicles, each one a little more wild looking than the last. And sticking with that common theme, this has got to be the same night, 1992. I had to do a lot of research on this one. This is an El Camino called Showdown. Do you Wisconsinites recognize this or know who would have been driving this at this time?
Is that Timmermans?
This is after doing some research. This is John Kuipers as well as Wayne Dale and Terry Timmerman were the drivers of this. So, Wayne Timmerman, now he's got what's it called? Showdown or something like that? Showtime. Okay, so this one was called Showdown.
Terry has Hot and Nasty.
Yeah, this one was called Showdown, and now he's got Showtime.
But it's not Timmerman's Showdown, I don't think.
But at one point, wasn't Showdown or Showtime with Wayne?
Wayne has Showtime. He runs Region 3.
Right.
And then and some Badger State. And then Terry runs some Badger State mostly. And also we'll go to some Region 3 events as well. We've seen him at some outlaw hooks, both of them. Just kind of depends on the schedule.
So there's your 5 throwback pictures from this week. Next week, I've got
there's Kenzie's picture. There's Kenzie's picture of the King of Smoke, everybody. There it is, Kenzie. Kenzie, talk about your lens and stuff, your camera.
I just got a new camera.
So she's quite happy.
Yeah, because I needed one.
Because I needed one.
bought one.
That picture is awesome.
Yeah, you can really see where he's paying homage to like the original design and style of this tractor with his current paint scheme he's got on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that won the internet this week.
Yeah, it did.
Next week we we'll be looking at some pictures from LD Nation and some big debates as to who, when, and where owned what. I have found a mystery on the internet, so we'll be discussing that next week. LD Nation, what do you think of? What class and what type of vehicle comes to mind when you hear LD Nation?
I think turbines and mods.
Yep. I bet it's not a big red Pro Stock on a flatbed open trailer.
No, but he didn't Bill Voorhees buy his tractor?
That was something that there's a lot. Like there's a lot to unpack and there's a lot of stories. But yeah, we've got one. I've got a picture that I'll show next week of a tractor he called Bigfoot, where he would have started in the Pro Stock class, if not the 9,000-pound supers. We'll have to examine it and see if we can get to the bottom of it.
And the elephant in the room, Mike, what happened to your mustache? That's kind of been last week. You had a lot of Super Trooper comments and
well, the Super Trooper comments were still there, but they fizzled out. Yeah. I don't have like a trimmer, and it was like getting to a point where we just hit the reset button. You know, we just started over. So just not saying it won't be back.
I like it. All right. So we're going to wrap this show up. Riley Anderson came on tonight, Hub City, Wisconsin, truck drags and diesel truck pulls with some gas trucks.
Yes.
Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October 12th in Richland Center, Wisconsin at the Fairgrounds. So cool stuff there.
Richland County Fairgrounds.
Richland County Fairgrounds. Yes. I always said Richland Center, Wisconsin, because I always hated the county because I went to a fair board meeting once and I don't want to talk about that ever again. They don't want me to come back either. Trust me. Probably. It wasn't real pleasant. You'd think when you're bringing people to your town that people be more receptive, and the county and the government be like, yeah, we'll do this. So you not in Richland.
No, Center. I know.
So that's why I don't do tractor pulls here anymore. So anyway, excited to go to Woodbury, Tennessee. FullPull.live, putting a big spotlight on the Mid-South this weekend. If you have not checked out the Full Pull Live fall schedule yet, and if you have your current subscription to Full Pull Live, you get all these events that we're going to be going to at Full Pull Live. You still got your Outlaw Pulling TV subscription as well. We're going to be in Lufkin, Texas, end of October. We're going to stream that on both of those channels, both those subscribers, whether you're an Outlaw TV subscriber or a Full Pull Live. You can watch Lufkin, Texas, October 25th and 26th, dragging and pulling in the pines. But it's going to be fun. But all eyes on Woodbury, Tennessee this Saturday, the 28th, 6 o'clock Central. Countdown to pull time will start at 4 o'clock. Dan Mayer, the voice. I don't care. He's the voice of pulling. Yep. I mean, if you could do a top 3, I'm going to throw Ron Stone in there, and there's a couple other guys, probably a Miles. There's some voices out there very recognizable. But I don't know if anybody can argue with Dan. The knowledge that he knows, and having him on Full Pull Live is huge for our brand as well, because you're bringing in the best of the best. So we're excited for that, for the Mid-South Pull this Saturday. And again, if you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe this week only for $19.99. Done deal. So you save $20 with your first subscription, and life will be good. Head over to fullpullpicks.com. Kenzie, beautiful picture of Esden Lane, the King of Smoke. So now we're gonna start really diving into driver interviews, some off-season events. Really gonna have some fun with this. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to Beer Money Pulling Team on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Kenzie's got a lot of awesome videos. She runs all the social media for the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. Mike helps out as well, but Kenzie's the one making it happen. So we appreciate you. You got your video ready? We got to time this. We got to time this really good. Yeah, we appreciate you. On behalf of Mike Eitel, Kenzie Teeting, my name's Jason Schultz. This is another great edition of Let's Grow Pulling. Have a good night, everybody.
Let's make some noise. Good running. John Deere out of Ocean, Iowa coming up. We got one right behind us.